Human beings evolved to work together in small, close-knit groups, often based on family relationships. And these allowed those relationships to mature and deepen over time, which built high levels of mutual understanding and trust. In the modern day, remote teams offer exactly the opposite of this. And therefore, to my mind, the single biggest challenge for a leader leading a remote team is to build trust. And not only is it the biggest challenge, I also believe that it is foundational in meeting all of the other challenges. I think that trusting your colleagues should be your primary leadership style. It's easy to think that people need to earn your trust, but most people have absolutely no intention of betraying your trust, and therefore the solution, I think, is to start from the presumption that people are trustworthy and to act as if you trust them right from the very beginning. Doing this will create an environment of trust, and usually people live up to your expectations. We create self-fulfilling prophecy. That is to say, if you expect people to not be trustworthy, you find instances where they let you down. If you expect people to be trustworthy, they're far more likely to actually deliver trustworthy behaviour. A prerequisite for leading a virtual team is for the team to trust you as their leader. And there are two things that you can do in order to build that trust. The first is to role model trustworthy and trusting behaviour. Get to know people, find out about them, and be respectful of them and their cultural norms and their ways of doing things. And don't just do this in the way you interact with them, but take your understanding and build it into the working practices of your teams, into the processes, the systems, the procedures, the team norms of behaviour. And secondly, set up and celebrate small wins. Create opportunities for people to succeed, and then when they do, acknowledge their success, recognise it and celebrate it. What this does is create a culture where people can trust that when they do good work, it will be recognised and rewarded. That way, they can have confidence in your process and in your leadership. A valuable concept from which we can learn a lot that is useful in building up trust within a virtual or remote team is the idea of swift trust. The ideas behind swift trust were first articulated by Deborah Meyerson, Carl Weick, and Roderick Kramer. They were interested in what happens when teams come together rapidly and need to build trust with one another quickly. We can adapt these ideas for the virtual environment because they're all about creating trust where there is very little basis at the outset. They suggest there are 6 conditions for building trust quickly. First, we need to assume that every team member has earned their place in the team. And secondly, we need to trust each other's expertise and knowledge and experience. Third, we need to have shared goals to pursue and a shared mechanism for recognising and rewarding success. Fourth, we need to have clear roles for ourselves and for the people around us. Fifth, we need to quickly focus on tasks and doing stuff rather than talking about roles, responsibilities, reasons, ideas. And certainly things like power and authority. Actually getting on with stuff builds trust most quickly. And finally, we each need to take responsibility for our work and respond positively to requests for help. So swift trust emerges when we are prepared to suspend our skepticism about others, to not make judgments, and to fulfill our responsibilities and get on with our work. We need to keep our initial focus on goals, roles, deadlines, and tasks. And you know what? With remote teams, we can build swift trust in a very similar way. Here's my 7-point plan. First, create a strong and positive impression as a leader right from the outset with your respectful behaviour and your clarity of thinking. First impressions count and have a huge influence on the way the team will evolve in the short term. Second, build relationships with each individual team member and learn about them. Thirdly, deal quickly and constructively with any issues that arise. Fourthly, stay in communication. Create the feeling that you're present even if you are geographically remote from each of your team members. And fifth, encourage frequent communication within your team and among your team members as well. Sixth, use private methods to deal with any underperformance issues with individuals. And of course, seventh, use public methods to recognize and celebrate successes. Combining this list with the 6 conditions for swift trust that Meyerson, Wyke and Kramer laid out will put you in a great situation for building trust within your remote team. Please do give a thumbs up if you like this video. I'll be creating loads more great management courses content, so please do subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of it. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and in the meantime, keep learning.